Hey, be joyful. We've been spending some time in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 24. And this whole area of what Peter is saying is just so rich. And I'd love to spend more time, but we're down to the last phrase. He says, He himself, Jesus, bore our sins in his body on the tree, that we might die to sin, which we talked about last time, and live to righteousness. So what does it mean to live to righteousness? And there's certainly far more than we could ever cover in a few moments. But I can say this, it is one of the greatest privileges and blessings of being a believer to live to righteousness. We know that our actions don't make us right. Righteous actions don't gain us approval before God. They don't give us He doesn't get pleasure from that raises us above a line of salvation. But there is freedom in that, and that we know that we cannot garner his pleasure. But we just we move forward in actions that are righteous, that are good, that are morally upright, because they please him. And there's just a whole different mechanism to that. That is a blessing of a believer. See, we're designed for good works. We're designed to live in that rightness and righteousness, like before the fall and after the fall. Our acts of righteousness give us a little bit of a taste. When we act in the moral structure that God has designed for us, then we have a sense of what we were made for. And it's like this is probably the greatest illustration, but like a guy driving a race car on a track, and it's just the best feeling ever. It's made for the track. It's just gripping. It's running. The speed is exactly what it ought to be. It's just the sound. Everything is perfect. As opposed to that same driver being in that car underwater. Neither can breathe. They can't go anywhere. They're surrounded by this environment that is completely stifling, and that's sort of where we live in this environment of sin. But every now and then we have a taste of what's right. And anyway, I just feel like when we read this, that we've been given the privilege of living to righteousness because he was nailed to a tree. That just is an incredible blessing. It's what we were made for, to live in those actions that please him and that set aside what we would normally desire for his glory and for our benefit. So give it some thought, live for him. All right, see you.